bought a Ferrari FF. It's awesome, but not awesome enough. So yeah, bought myself a new daily driver. I'd been finding myself driving my KN Turbo more than I'd like, purely because, you know, I'm old now. And it's quite comfortable. And the alternative, which is this one, is not comfortable. And this one is rather impractical. And my 964 is pretty cool as well, but again, it's not really the most practical car day to day. It's like 600 wheel horsepower. So yeah, I've been looking at these for a while. In fact, I've been toying with the idea of Lusso, and I went to look at one last week and decided I much prefer the look of the FF, and the stuff that I obviously would prefer about the Lusso is the modern stuff, is the stereo system, rear wheel steer, and slightly more modern interior, although I do actually prefer the interior on this one, I think, overall. So yeah, I decided I was going to go for the FF. There was one on a well-known auction site. It seemed to be going pretty cheaply. It has some flaws, but yeah, I won the bid on Thursday night and collected it on Friday. Total mission, but yeah, the old owner was absolutely superb, very helpful. I just transferred the money, got a train down there, he picked me up from the train station in his VX220, and yeah, I was soon driving this back to Solihull. So those of you that have been watching me for a while know that there's going to be a few things that I'm going to want to change on this, not least wheels, not least ride height, not least wheel fitment. Some of the other stuff as well, I want to get some CarPlay in there because that thing's useless. But I'm not going to go too wild with it. A lot of you will be thinking famous last words. However, this is genuinely supposed to be something that I'm going to want to daily drive. So I don't want it to be too uncomfortable. I don't want it to be too loud. I just want it to be a nice, fun place to be. And that V12, my God, what a noise it makes already. So my thinking with that is X-pipe, maybe create our own Z-pipe system. But yeah, first of all, wheels. And I went on Driftworks.com, this website you may have heard of before, to see what we've got in large 5x114, because yes, these are the same as what's usually Japanese 5x114. And we happen to have a set of M8Rs that are not quite the right widths, not very much not quite the right offsets, but take a look at them. They're super, super extreme. Probably not going to fit, but I have to try. So this is the front. And this is a 20x9, 29.5 is it? Let's have a look. Or is this the back one? This is 20x9.5 ET28. And by my maths, using willtheyfit.com, which is a superb way to work out whether your wheels are going to fit or how much they're going to poke out the arches like they will on this. Using that, the face of these is going to poke out 32 mil more than that. So it's probably asking quite a lot, but let's see what we can do. Always throw a bit more camber on there if there's any adjustment. I actually haven't looked at the suspension setup on this at all. I know it's coilovers. I know I can lower it down a bit on the stock coilovers. It's got front and rear lift which is excellent, so I don't mind going a bit lower. But yeah, I don't know anything about the camber adjustment until I get it on the ramp. So yeah, that's the front. this is over here. Yeah, these are M8Rs, and this one is a 20 by 10.5, again ET28. And I think this one, that's going to poke out 25 mil more than this. And then for now, I'm going to use the same tyres. Which is going to tell me where I'm at. The rears are the same width, so they should be absolutely fine. Just going to push it out, obviously. The front, they're going to be a bit too stretched. These are 245s on the front of these. And on a 9.5, that's going to be too stretched to keep. But I'm going to try it to start off with to see what tyre I can use. And then I think you can get away with a 255 without it upsetting the four-wheel drive system on this. I'm not sure if you can go much more than that, but let's see whether they have a hope in hell fitting first before I get too carried away. M8Rs are a bit of a slept-on wheel, really, with work. I had them on my M2 19-inch version, and I thought that looked superb. I also had the same size wheels that I had on my M2. I had them on my F80 M3 as well, and I really like that. Fits over CCBs as well. But yeah, this is my first time with the 20s. Oh, unfortunately, I think Works discontinued the 5x120, so you can't get them for BMW anymore, which is very annoying. But 5x114, as far as I understand, we can still get them. Extra big ass car. That is a unit. So part of persuading myself that this was a good idea was that I checked the length of this to see whether I could fit it in my garage at home. And in theory, it's the same size as my RS6 or slightly shorter. It certainly doesn't feel like it though. What I think. So let's start at the front. This is the one that I think is going to be a real problem. 32 mil further out is a lot, and also obviously stretching that 245 from an 8.5 inch wide wheel to a 9.5 inch wheel is not going to look right. I'm not going to be happy with it, but it will tell me what I need to know about tyre size and whether fitting these wheels at all is possible. And I'll also learn a bit once I take the wheel off about whether I can put some more camber on it or not. That's a new one on me. Looks like we might be doing a stud conversion. So this is just an alignment pin, I think. That's not in the way. That is, so I've got to remove it. I've got to measure the centre bore and obviously get the right spigot rings for this, but it's looking good. Those that I pointed out earlier, they're only that funny looking because that's how, I don't know if you can see there, that's how deep the holes are in the standard wheels, which is quite strange. But yeah, I should just be able to get some bolts that we've got on the shelf, make sure I've got the right thread, and just fit them like normal. So we got a load of these in stock in various sizes and lengths, but these have been drilled for the normal 5x114 bolt pattern usage, which is M12 bolts, and these are M14. So I better eye them up first, see whether they're going to look any good before I send a drill through these and make these fit through them. Okay, not on the centre bore yet because I haven't got the spigot and it's balancing there precariously, so I better be quick. But oh my god, they look f***ing awesome. So are they going to fit? I still don't know. Very hard to tell until you get a tyre on them and mounted, but am I going to make them fit regardless of whether they do fit or not? Hell yes, because I think that's going to completely transform the car. Right, let's do this. There we go, holes drilled out to 14.5 and with a little bit of a chamfer on them as well. Should work perfectly. Before I get the wheels on, I'm just going to have a look at the suspension, see whether I can lower this down. Massive shout out to Car Guy, who is a YouTuber who's done a load of DIY stuff on his own FF. Super useful, and I must have spent probably 2 hours watching his videos, coming up with ideas last night. I'll be doing this, lowering the coilovers, and I'll probably be doing a similar version to his switched exhaust system that I might do, and add an electric vacuum pump as well, so I can cold start at in full quiet mode. But yeah, we'll get onto that in another episode. For now, I'm just winding down this bottom locking collar, which I've just used a hammer and a drift to unlock. The difference with what we're doing and what Car Guy is doing is we've got a load of C-spanners here. Done a huge amount of stuff with coilovers and got a variety of different C-spanners, so I can adjust, hopefully, without having to use spring compressors. I can hopefully adjust this spring perch collar down without having to use spring compressors. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, it takes a bit of effort, but set of C-spanners, and you can do it without the spring compressors. A bit hard to see here, but once you get down to the bottom, you have to put 2 spanners on and lock them together. You don't have to worry about it too much on double wishbone suspension. It doesn't have any rotational force on the coilover, but it's still worth nipping them up. So I might have to get myself a fancy adapter, but for now, this will do. Number 1. No drama, maybe. It looks absolutely superb though. Let's see how we get in once we drive it, but I've got to obviously match the other side. It's probably going to be a bit lower than this because the anti-roll bar is obviously supporting it because I haven't done the other side yet. But yeah, I am very happy with that if I can make these work. And there's a rear. That looks purposeful. And the rear is the same process with the locking collars. I've already wound these down, just wound them down to the bottom and lock them back off. No need for spring compressors on the rear either. God damn it, that looks good. Now, let's drive it and see whether I'm going to need to get the angle grinder out or not. Because that rear is close. So I'm absolutely chuffed with that. For a few hours work on a Sunday afternoon, for just happening to have those wheels in stock. No idea why we did have them in stock. They're certainly not one that we normally would stock, but yeah, look at that. No scrapes so far, just pulling out the estate and doing that corner, but I'm sure that'll come. I've got to put a few more miles on it before I know. I've obviously got a load of other stuff I want to do. Wiper delete, essential, because it's an import Singapore car. I've got door handles, need painting. Excuse the seagulls, we're not at the seaside, I can assure you. Front grille and the little horsey have been damaged by a pheasant, so that needs sorting out. And maybe I'd like to find a splitter for it, but you know, not one that's £7,000, because that's ridiculous. I think if it came to it, I'd make my own. But yeah, just a quick one. I thought I'd show you the new toy, and yes, I am enjoying it rather a lot at the moment already. Only owned it 48 hours. More to come soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us by buying from Driftworks.com, and I'll catch you in the next one.